So I went a little crazy in the fish tank department. About 3 weeks ago, I had set up my first aquarium, and then a week after that, I set up the second one. And then yesterday, I set up this saltwater. Now, about 4 years ago, I had a 55-gallon saltwater aquarium that was up and running for a couple years, and I had some really great success with it. I had just gotten really busy and wasn't able to keep up with the maintenance on a tank that size. So I broke it down and decided, I wasn't going to have fish tanks anymore. Well, now I have really missed my saltwater tank and decided that I was going to set up another one. Now this is a 13.5 gallon. It's the Fluval Evo. So I'm hoping that the maintenance on this will be a little bit easier in terms of the amount of water I have to change. I will be doing weekly water changes, probably about 2 to 3 gallons. And that is much more manageable than the amount I was doing on my 55-gallon. So I am working on cycling it now. You can see the shrimp on the bottom to help introduce some ammonia. On the bottom there is live sand, and that's the Carib Sea Aragalife. The rock was dry rock that I had gotten from Bulk Reef Supply. So when I had set up my previous 55-gallon, I had used all live rock, and the cycling went pretty quick. It was very easy. So I'm hoping that this will work. I think it will. It'll just take longer. I didn't do any bacteria supplements to get it started. I may in the future. It just kind of all depends. For this tank, I plan to have corals, mostly softies. I don't think I'll really do any hard corals or anything like that. I'm not sure if I'll have any fish in there, just because it is so small. But I do want a shrimp in there. Not sure which one yet, but we'll see. So that's my plan for that. This is the first tank I set up, and it's been cycling now for 3 weeks. It is a freshwater aquarium, and I do have a plan for this. I really want to keep some shellies or shell dwellers in there. More specifically, the Neolamprologus multifasciitis, or multi. So I do still need to add the snail shells in there, which they love. If you don't know about them, they are shell dwellers. So they kind of hang out, and they will breed in these shells. Multis do like sand substrate, so that they can kind of move it around and bury their shells, and they really like to rearrange everything. So I'm thinking I won't be able to do any plants in here just because they do make such a mess of the aquascaping. So we'll see how that works out. So I'm just waiting for this one to cycle still. And then it seems like they're kind of hard to find online. So hopefully I will be able to find some multis here when my tank is cycled. I do live in northern Minnesota, so in the winter it gets really cold, a lot of times below 0. So I would really like to buy some before it gets really cold. So fingers crossed on that. So this is my second tank. It's not quite finished with the aquascape. Mostly because I haven't been able to decide what I want to do with this tank. I at first thought I wanted to do a shrimp tank, but I don't know. I also want fish. So I will be adding more substrate, and that's just the Fluval substrate for planted tanks. I didn't want to do it earlier today just because it makes the water really cloudy. And that rock there is holding down the driftwood because it wasn't waterlogged when I had put it in. So the rocks will be covered, and I'm thinking on the left that there'll be kind of like a hill type feature there. And as you can see, there's a lot of good fungus growing on that piece of driftwood. And this tank has been cycling for approximately 2 weeks. So I've got a little bit left of time left that I need to wait. So that'll give me enough time to decide what I want to do with it. I know for sure that I want to have plants in there. So I think once it's cycled, I will start with that first and then kind of decide more about what I want to do with the tank as far as fish or shrimp go. So those are my fish tanks that I have set up so far. I don't plan on doing any more updates until I have some stuff in them. So hopefully that'll be soon. But thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have an update soon.